Hey there, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Jonathan, and this is How I See It with Jonathan. In case you just joined for the very first time, please do well to like, subscribe, comment, share, and just tell your friends about this wonderful vlog of ours. Okay, going straight into what we have today. Today I want to discuss something a bit sensitive, something it's quite very sensitive. It's the issue of sex. Right. So I'll be taking a series. I will call it sex in the home. Right. And I want to discuss sexual compatibility today with us. And you and I would agree that sex is one major issue. Better still, sexual issues are major issues families and homes or couples face, apart from the issue of third party interference in the family and probably finance issues. Yes, finance issue. One other issue I've come to discover that families face is the issue of sex, and many times this issue is traceable to sexual incompatibility, and that is why I said, okay, let me discuss this issue with us. Sex in the home, sexual compatibility. You see, in saying yes to your partner, one of the things you need to look out for is sexual compatibility. Right, so I would discuss sexual compatibility in relationship and downstream it into marriage. Right, the major reason why people have sexual issues in their marriage is because of sexual incompatibility. Now, what is compatibility in the context of what we're discussing? Compatibility speaks about not necessarily just the similarities in understanding and probably similarities, because when you hear compatibility, first that comes to your mind is similarity, what you share in common. Right, beyond what you share in common, compatibility also talks about agreeable differences, meaning that there are certain things you don't share in common, but you both agree in order to meet in the middle ground, whereby your partner feels this way, you feel this way, then you guys compromise in order to meet in the middle ground. That is compatibility to a large extent. Right, so sexual compatibility basically is just you agreeing with your partner about certain sexual desires, demands, and all. That's sexual compatibility. Once yourself and your partner can have an agreement on how the sex life should be like, then sexual compatibility is born. Don't get it twisted. It is not until you like the same thing sexually that you say you are sexually compatible. No, it goes beyond that. It just talks about agreeing, and agreeing. Right, so there are certain things you must want to look out for sexual compatibility to be understood. So the first thing you would want to consider in understanding sexual compatibility is the sexual knowledge of your partner. You see, the way you see sex might not be the way your partner sees sex. First of all, so you need to understand what is sex to your partner, what is sex to your partner, what is sex to you. You need to define what sex is. Some of you might see sex as probably once you have certain kind of romance and all. What I'm saying in long run is that for you to attain sexual compatibility with your partner, you must understand their definition of what sex is. Don't trivialize this. You might think, everybody knows what sex is. You'll be very shocked. I'm telling you, you'll be very shocked when they tell you their definition of sex. So please and please try to understand what they define sex to be. Secondly, you need to know the sexual history of your partner. Yes, this is extremely important. The sexual history of your partner, I cannot overemphasize this, but trust me, when it comes to sexual compatibility, you need to know the sexual history of your partner. You see, when you are with someone, you ask the person, what is your sexual history? Have you ever had sex before? The person you are doing, is the person a virgin? Right? Has the person never had sex before? What is their history? Has the person been raped before? Has the person been molested before? Has the person had a lot of sexual experiences and encounters before? You need to understand the sexual history of your partner so you know who you are dealing with, because in understanding the sexual history of your partner, you know what to expect from the person. That's the second thing you need for sexual compatibility to be built. The third thing you need to understand is the sexual appetite of your partner. Yes, you see, the same way we have different appetite for food, so also we have different appetite for sex. Right, there are certain persons that left to them, they might even just have sex only once in a year. While certain persons that they love sex, they don't mind having sex twice in a day for like a week, every day, 2 times every day. So you need to understand the sexual appetite, because I've personally, in my little time in this marriage and relationship counseling and all, right? And one of the things I've discovered is, you see people complaining, and my husband loves sex too much. Every time sex, he come back from work, says, this one says, me I'm tired though, am I a sex this? And you ask yourself, why is she complaining now? Why are you complaining now? You should have, asked question. Now I'm talking in line with marriage now. No, this is not for those in the relationship now. Those who are married, you should study your husband, and okay, this person has a high sexual appetite, and you should know, find a way to adjust to it. And even while you are in a relationship, people learn to study themselves. It's not you have sex for you to know your sexual appetite. Even your urge, how certain persons, you touch them like this, they are all over the moon and all. So this thing has a way of revealing the person's sexual appetite. The person's love romance. So you need to sincerely take out your time to understand the sexual appetite of your partner. There are those who love romance, they can have romance for like 3 hours non-stop. There are those who can have sex for like 7 rounds, they are still there having the sex and all. So it's your duty to ask these questions. What is your sexual appetite? How often would you love to have sex in marriage? How many times in a week? How many times in a month? How many times? And both of you come to an agreement. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to sexual compatibility, for there to be sexual compatibility, there must be sacrifice. That's the truth. There must be sacrifice, because it should matter. Scarcely will you see couples with equal sexual appetite. It's scarce, right? So, but both of you must come to a place of agreement. Okay, you love sex 5 times a week. I love sex once in a week. What we'll do is we'll reach a middle ground. We'll start doing it 3 times a week. That is sexual compatibility. Ability to agree, agreeable differences, right? So having understood the sexual appetite aspect, you also need to understand the sexual fantasies. Yes. You also need to understand the sexual fantasies. You see, fantasy speaks of what your partner wants sexually. Certain persons, the way they fantasize about sex, they love this kind of sex all over the moon, this kind of cloud nine, like they fantasize, I don't know, there's this fantasy they have about having sex, the way they want to have sex, they imagine it, they let's go to the beach, let's go on honeymoon, maybe let's do this, let's do that, you buy me this, you buy me that. Some persons will say, okay, for the wife, I have to get you a G-string, I have to get you certain bras, I have to get you this, for you to, these are sexual fantasies. Some of the men will say, okay, I prefer my wife putting on a transparent gown before sex, trying to stir up the appetite and all those things. All these things speaks about sexual fantasies, right? While the lady, she might say, okay, I like you putting on a panties. You just try to understand the sexual fantasy of your partner and play to their tune. It is extremely important. The fifth thing you need to understand is, try to understand your partner's sexual stamina. Now, it's in the place of stamina I discovered that certain persons don't even mind taking certain drugs and what have you, just to maintain stamina. Uh, I was going to share this in the next video, but let me just say a bit of it. So when it comes to sexual stamina, I've discovered that women have more stamina than men. It takes time for a woman to hit the climax, right? And it takes a man just like this, and all, right? So you need to understand the sexual stamina of your partner. So, most of the time, women have more sexual stamina than men, right? But when you find yourself with a man that has more sexual stamina, when I mean sexual stamina, I mean ability to stay long before hitting the climax. That's the sexual stamina. Ability to stay long before hitting the climax. The climax talks about where, probably for the man, it comes, or the woman should probably start squirting or start, she comes also and all, right? So that length, that longevity to stay in a place of sexual drive and all before hitting climax. Right? So you need to understand the sexual stamina of your partner. And where you discover that your partner is having issues maintaining stamina, there's nothing wrong. As couples, you look out for medical solutions. If the man is a 1 minute man, you could always help him with a therapist, help him with certain kind of herbal drugs, just to ensure that your sexual life doesn't lose its flavor. And the last thing you need to understand for you to get to the place of sexual compatibility is understanding the green and red sexual signals. Yes, or better still, the green and red sexual buttons. Now, so the red buttons are the things you must not do to your partner if you don't want them to lose their sexual desire at that point in time. For example, for certain men, if he's horny and he wants to have sex and he comes to you and he perceives that you've not brushed your teeth or you've not taken your bath, at that point in time, he might lose his sexual appetite, might just go down. So for the man, that might be like a red sexual button. Like for certain women, it might just be they don't like it when you just rush them and all. Once you are trying to just hold them too tight. So you need to, and you don't know these things until you engage yourself, both of you. That's why I say this is for the married. Until you engage yourself, while you have sex, you ask questions. Okay, should I touch you here? Where do you want me to touch you? Is in doing those things you come to understand. Okay, whenever I touch my wife here, she gets wet. Whenever I touch her here, whenever I touch him here, he likes being touched here, he likes being touched there. Okay, she prefers me sending her love messages throughout to the night we would have sex. All these things are you just trying to understand the green and the red sexual buttons, right? And in understanding these 6 things I've shared with you, you will come to a place of sexual compatibility. I must make you understand sexual compatibility doesn't just happen because it doesn't just happen. It's something you work out, it's something you labor to get, and it's something you labor toward. And once you labor towards that, it's attainable. Right. So I don't know where your sex life is in your home, but I believe with this video solution is in the way. So I want to say thank you for those who have watched. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. In case again you just joined for the very first time, please do well to like, subscribe, share, and comment. My name is Jonathan, and this is how I see Jonathan. Till we meet again, stay blessed.